Going to mute everyone. Okay. Thank you guys so much for taking a few minutes out of your Thursday. We're actually going to keep this short, partly because it's called Emerald in an Hour. And so if you are already Emerald, then I would say really use this. The goal is to go Emerald, every week, every month, whatever the case may be. But consistently making Emerald so that you are seeing your income grow and your team grow. So whether you're at Emerald, you're a brand new coach, you fell off of Emerald, or you can always pass this down into the team, as well as I've hit record so that we can use this. And I have notes, so that's why I am looking down a lot. So we're going to talk a lot about Emerald. We're going to talk about how to get there within an hour, really within less than an hour. It's dependent on how fast you work, and how crucial you make this, because I always feel like as if you have to jump in with both feet. And a lot of people might not know what Emerald is, and a lot of people will make it more complicated than what it is. So of course, as you do this, you'll see it grow. So what is Emerald? An Emerald is whenever you are an active coach. So you pay your business service fees every single month. You have 50 PV or more coming out every 5 weeks. If you're already on Shakeology Home Direct, which I hope that you are, and you're drinking it every single day and you're loving it every single day, then you're good. Or if you're on the supplements, then that also I think Recover equals 52 PV. So you're good. So as long as you are either on Shakeology Home Direct, the supplements, or you are making sure that you're totaling to 50 PV every 5 weeks. And you can actually find that if you go in your shop center, you can see where every item has a point value to it, if you need help. So then you have one active coach on your right leg, and I know that I just did this, and this is my left. You have one active coach on your right leg, one active coach on your left leg. So one on right, one on left, and same exact thing as what I said above. They're paying their $15.95 service fee, as well as they have 50 PV every 5 weeks. So that is all that it takes to become Emerald. It sounds super simple, right? But we tend to overcomplicate it in our minds. We start judging people. We start thinking that, it's so much harder to get to than what it actually is. But this is a huge stepping stone in your business. Not only are you opening up shop, like we all get that you're opening up, shop, that you've made it to your first rank. At that point, you kind of see that you're able to do this. Like for me, I was like, I don't know if I can even make it to the next rank. Like, I don't know if I can do any of this. And so when I made Emerald, it helped me see that I could do more. So it kind of showed me the potential in this. But not just that, you start earning a team cycle bonus based off of your team and anyone underneath you. So not just who you add, but who they add, and who, if you're on a strong leg, then whoever they add. So it's not just you that's working, it's you and everyone underneath you that's working. And all that money rolls up. And that's what's called residual income. And at that point, you make $14 per time that happens in a week. And it will depend, like, for instance, a weak leg, every time your weak leg reaches 100 PV and your strong leg reaches 200 PV, you cycle to $14, or you make $14. So say that you had, 400 PV on your strong leg and 200 PV on your weak leg. You sold a Shakeology then you had a reoccurring one, or you sold a challenge pack. Then you had a coach over here, and they were being a boss, and they were selling all this. So you would cycle twice, and you would make $28. That's what you really focus on, is helping your team grow underneath you. That way you can go on vacation and come back and have a paycheck. Like, you're not dependent on that constant hustle of making your next sale. And that's what stresses me out, is that constant worry of making my next sale. What am I going to do this? Like, it would drive me nuts to be 100% commission, because it would just wear me down too much. So residual income is where it's at. That's where the big bucks come from. So that's the main reason behind getting to Emerald as fast as possible. Not just that you now have a lead, or you are a leader, but because of the income potential that comes with it. So I'm going to tell you 3 ways, and just like where babies come from, we're going to talk about where coaches come from. And so we're going to go through 3 steps, or 3 scenarios. Some scenarios might not fit with you. One might, but I want you to take all of it into account before you like completely tone me out, and really think and stew on it. So first things first is your family. And I'll kind of talk about this, because I know that people start balking at you and they go, there's no way my family would sign up. And for me, I was kind of the same way. A lot of my family would not talk to me about it, but my husband's grandfather had high cholesterol like a year or so before he had a heart attack. So he was on different kinds of medicines. And I said, look, I just signed up for this. I really want to do good at it. I need an extra coach to make it was for Diamond. I need an extra coach to reach my Diamond goal. Plus, I've really heard good things about Shakeology, and I'm not quite sure, if you'll see results, but, I've been looking at it. So tell me what you think. And within a year, I think he lost 10 pounds, and he got off of his cholesterol medicine. And he refers so many people to me. They're all like 70 and 80. So it's a different scenario than what I'm used to. But I didn't just sign him up and he has a closet full of Shakeology. I showed him that this was something that he could really benefit from, as well as helping me. And of course, he wanted to help me as well. So I want to kind of use this as a comparison. If you opened up a restaurant, on opening night, your whole family would come out to support you, right? Like, they would want to be a part of this excitement. They would refer people to you. They would come. So this is the same thing. When you signed up as a coach, and more than likely, if you're listening to the recording or if you're on this call, you want to make this into a business. You are a business owner. And I think if I would have known that when I signed up, that would have really freaked me out. I never really realized I was a business owner until way on when. But you are a business owner. You control this organization. And so I want you to give them the opportunity to support you. And so write down those closest to you. My mom is a coach, and for a long time she would not even talk to me about it. But I was like, I'm going to sign you up. I need an active coach. You need to drink Shakeology anyways, and I need your social security number. And so I just signed her up. So it could be something like that if you're pushy like me with your mom, or it can just be someone like my in-law and say, I really think that this would be good for you. So write down a list of people, your close family, that would be willing to support you, and send them a message or text them or whatever, and just say, look, this means a lot to me. I'm really trying to reach these goals. I would love it if you supported me. It doesn't mean that they have to be signed up forever. Like my in-laws, they eventually canceled their account. I didn't need it anymore. And so they just order off of my account. And so it doesn't mean that they have to be on there forever, but at least to help you reach, to get to that goal, to that first goal, then ask them for support. Or if there's anyone that they know, like a far off cousin or whatever, but they're going to be the ones that will want to support you the most. They might not fully understand your dream, but hey, Liz, they might not fully understand your dream, but they will be willing to support you. So Liz, we're kind of talking about the 3 ways to make Emerald. So the first one we just talked about was going to family first, because if you were opening up any other type of business, a boutique or whatever, a hair salon, they would be the first ones to come to you. So don't be afraid to ask. Just remind yourself that you are a business owner and that they want to see you succeed as much as you want to see you succeed. They might not understand your dream, but they do want to support you. The second one will be your spouse. And if you have not signed up your spouse and you're married, then I would say do that before Wednesday. Like, you want to sign them up at the top of your organization. Now, I will say I would not personally, because I tend to be kind of a more frugal person, I would not sign up my spouse until I had someone already signed up, like my one coach, and then I would sign up my spouse, just because I want to see an income potential from that. I don't want to sign them up and then be losing money. So you would sign up your spouse on your weak leg, if you have a weak leg. And how you figure that out is you go into coach.teambeachbody.com, go over to your main dashboard and look at your volume. And you might see it might be completely even, and that's fine too. You'll just pick a side. Or you will see that one is higher than the other. And so you would want to put your spouse on the weak, the one with the lesser amount of volume over there. So before, because I know that I get this objection a lot, I was the same exact way. My husband did not want to sign up as a coach. And at the time, I had signed up someone, and I had that one person, and so I knew that I only needed one more person to become Emerald. And so I signed up my husband. So I didn't really do it knowing what the full income potential was, but I will tell you that that's how I replaced his income and brought him home for 2 years. So you want your spouse to be at the top of your organization so that they can see volume, all of your volume as you're building, as well as if you have them on your weak side. So say that, and I'm super bad at math in my head. I'm super bad at math. I'm super bad at math in my head. So it made sense to me, because when I signed up Ken, what I was doing was he wasn't drinking Shakeology. That's all we had at the time. We didn't have the supplements. We didn't have anything else. So I would buy another box of Shakeology in the sample packs, and I would sell them for $5 a piece. Or if I had a friend or family that would be willing to buy it at coach price, then I would sell it to them that way. But what made sense to me was that because of where he was, as well as my mom, if say that I had 15 PV that I had sold, or not that I had sold, but say that I had extra PV on that weak side somewhere, and then when his Shakeology would ship, which would be 90 PV, so it would push me over to that 100 PV, I'd actually be getting that Shakeology cheaper because you receive that team cycle bonus. So it wouldn't be like we pay 108 for Shakeology, including tax and shipping. So we would be actually paying $84, if that makes sense. So because even if you don't have enough team cycle, even if you don't have enough volume to cycle over, it saves it. So what I would do is I would put customers eventually on his account to where I didn't have to take care of it and I didn't have to order a Shakeology. And so then those orders would roll up to him and he would get commission, and then the volume would roll up to me as well. So and I know that this sounds like Chinese, but you make a lot of money if you keep consistently building by putting your spouse at the top of your organization and building his account or building their account appropriately. And like what I said, you don't have to be spending $200 a month on Shakeology. What you can do is have your main Shakeology on your account. If they're not drinking it, then doing the samples or putting a customer's order over there so that that account is being taken care of and you're not spending any money in it aside from the $15.95. So I'm always and I will still do it. I'm always transferring orders over between mine and his account on whatever makes sense. So that's one reason why you sign up your spouse, is for the long-term longevity of it. And there's multiple ways to do it that saves you money while making you money. But it's just a smart income move, and one that I didn't quite realize for a long, long time. And so when we started talking about when I came home, I was like, okay, I want to bring you home next. And so I took a year and built up his organization. He only had 8 to 10 coaches, but because of the volume attached to his account and how we had set it up, we replaced his income, which was $50,000 a year. And so he came home and stayed home for 2 years with the girls while they were growing up. So I cannot say it heavily enough to sign up your spouse. Then the third way will be any hardworking friends that you have. And if you are an introvert like me, you might balk at that too. But I had a lot of middle school and high school friends. I didn't go to college. And then people, of course, that I worked with and I went to church with. And so anyone that I felt comfortable enough, because, at the beginning, you're scared. So anyone that I felt comfortable enough to say, hey, I just signed up for this. I'm not sure at all what I'm doing, but I want to do it with you. Would you consider signing up? And you would be surprised at the amount of people that go, well, tell me a little bit more about it. Like, what exactly are you doing? And then you just refer them to Christina Sullins and Lisa's website, and I can post it if y'all need it. But say, just take a look at this and then let me know. But let's learn it together. Let's be a powerhouse. I've heard about, a mom and daughter that make 6 figures. And I've heard about a sister duo that makes 7 figures in Miami, and friends that do this together and that build it up. And you're on my dream team list, and I just want you to join. So any hardworking friends that you have, anyone that you can think of. And while I'm closing this out, I don't want you to judge anyone. It is scary to invite. After 7 years, it is still scary to invite. But I want you to remember the goals that you have for yourself and the income potential that is attached to this business that you just signed up. And anyone has the potential to take this to 6 figures, to take this to 7 figures. So it doesn't matter who they are. They can be the underdog like me. They can be, a lawyer. Christina Delgado is a lawyer and eventually replaced her income with this. And her sister Becky is also a 7-figure earner as well. So anyone has the potential. All you have to do is present it to them and just say, would you consider doing this with me? Remember, these are the people that love you. And they legitimately might not understand, but they legitimately want to help you. So it is 8:20 Central Standard Time. If you are not an Emerald coach, I want you to spend the next 30 minutes working on your list and then inviting. And if you need help with inviting, just let me know. But this is what I said in the very beginning, because I remember my first message. It was to a girl that I went to middle school and high school with. And I was like, hey, so I just signed up for this. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing, but I know that your husband, Adam, sells cars. And I really think that we would be really good at this. Like, I'm looking at my upline, Lisa, and she just quit her job. And at the time Lisa had quit her job, what do you think? Would you guys consider signing up? And she was like, let me look over some things and we'll talk about it. And at the time she didn't sign up, actually. She signed up like a year or two later, but it planted that seed. And you keep going. You keep going. Don't stop just whenever you're done, but you keep messaging people and keep inviting. But start with your family, sign up your spouse, and then any hardworking friends that you have, anyone that is working, anyone that is home and looking for a job, a little bit of extra money, whatever the case may be. And then I want you to let me know as soon as you make Emerald. Or if you make Emerald again. I know that a couple of you ladies have been on, like, you're like, I'm Emerald, I got this. But make Emerald again, make it fun again. But that's all that I have. Does anyone have any questions before I close out?
I have a question. Can we move people on our legs?
So I think it's still a 3-day lag time. So you only have 3 days that you can move them, and you just have to email Coach Relations or do a chat with them, and then they'll move them. But aside from that, once that 3 days is passed, they're locked in.
Okay.
Oh, you know what that was?
Sorry, that was me.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, text messages.
Yes. All right, so I'm gonna hit unrecord. That way we can have this for